Hello everyone. How we doing? Oh. I was just on a mission. And I've just run back. Oh. Looking a lot better. I am a little bit better, yeah. I'm not fully back to full health. This morning was awful. I woke up and I was just streaming from my face again, but it's cleared up the entire afternoon, so I think we're safe. However, I have thrown my back out quite severely. So it took me 20 minutes to get up this morning. And that's because of all the sneezing. Sneezing. Ah, there goes my back. It's not been great. So tonight I'm gonna take some painkillers because I can't handle it anymore. I can't deal with it. Oh. But how are all of you? Are you all good? Are you having a lovely November? I feel like I haven't really had a chance to catch up with you guys in November. It's just been one thing after another. So yeah, it's, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to live a better life. Which I can't do because we've got to get to 600 models painted this year. And as you can see, I'm 92 away. We've got 92 to do in... What week are we on now of the year? We are on week 47. So there's 5 weeks left. So 92 divided by 5. That means I have to get up to about an average of 19 models completed per week. For the rest of the week. I'm struggling to actually finish painting anything, which is inconvenient, but I should have done for Tails. I thankfully did Strikeforce Justian, so I'm at least one part of the way through Tails. The other part is my Minas Tirith army, but I'm nowhere near getting that done. And it was kind of a toss-up today between doing some more of the Warlord Titan or painting some Minas Tirith warriors. And I figured, stop avoiding it, you coward. Was my decision. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try and do a little bit of cleanup. I can't promise that I won't have a nervous breakdown. Josh is at a new mic. It is Plopsicorn. It is a new mic. It is a Rode NT1 signature. I have a Rode NT1 over there, but that's on that computer. And I just wanted to duplicate them. So this now goes into a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. And I got it because the old mic, whilst it's a very good mic, its kind of field of listening is quite narrow. This one is quite large. So you should be able to hear me quite nicely, and if I come back you can still hear me, which is why we got the new mic. Did you manage to get the hand for the Titan? It's back in stock if you hadn't seen. I did, Flying Muttley. It's here. Power Claw is here in my possession. But before we do that, I believe I didn't finish the volcano cannon. And so that's something that we need to do first. So I need to get all of these bits cleaned up and ready to go. So that's what we're going to work on first today. And then we're going to do either the hand or the Apocalypse launchers. The choice... Oops, sorry. The choice is yours. Out there. So that's what we're going to work on today. I'd forgotten where we got to with this. So we were working on the Bellicosa volcano cannon. So yeah, that's just what we're gonna get started on today. Now, as you know, this thing makes me nervous and makes me anxious. So here it is. What I need to do is I need to get a better mounting system for this mic. But in order to do that, I need to have a couple of £100 just lying about for that kind of thing, which I don't have at the moment. So, it's all fun and games at Warhipster Towers. There's lots of stuff that I need to do. Like I need a much more sturdy desk so that when I touch the desk, it doesn't make everything wobble. But there's no desk really that will fit this little cubby hole that I'm in our tiny little, my tiny little studio. So we need to move first, and we're not doing that until next year. But our plan is to move probably in the summer of next year. So we've got to hope it's nice and quiet at Games Workshop front. During the summer. So there's not a ton of videos I have to work on. Sorry for my ignorance. What are these massive weapons for? These are for a Warlord Titan, which we're slowly working on getting built to do in a 24-hour stream at some point next year. See if those standing desk people will sponsor you. I think the fancy ones can have the desktop swapped out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the problem is we would have nowhere to put it. I wouldn't be able to put it up here. So this desk just about fits in the cubby hole, but what I don't want to do is buy any more furniture, given that we're going to move next year. So when we do that, that'll be when stuff like, and I might even get like a custom jobby built if I can. If I can find a benevolent furniture maker to do that. Depends where we end up. But right now we just have to kind of, well, I just kind of have to just deal with it. You know what I mean? Just live with it for another 6 to 8 months. I can always buy the road arm for this, which will make it nice and secure. But again, don't have any money. Mark, thank you very much for being a member for 39 months. That is incredible. 39 months. Good lord. So that should glue in like that when it does. Where are we moving to, Warhipster? We would love you in the US. We don't 100% know where we're going yet. There's various locations that Alice and I have discussed. One is to stay reasonably close where we are. Another is to move to Bristol. Another is to move to Nottingham. We've mooted a possibility of going to somewhere like Southsea to be nearer to my parents. We've also talked about, you know, places like Salisbury or just, you know, various places around the UK. An abroad move is not something we've discussed yet. Demogorgon, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Impressive. Totally not overcompensating with that cannon. No, definitely not. It doesn't get any longer either. Or does it? Are you looking to buy a place or rent? I suggest buy so you can get a cat. We are hoping to buy a place. We are hoping to do that. Now that relies on a number of things. One, me not suddenly being out of work and continuing to have a reasonably successful YouTube channel that continues to grow. And yeah, but that is, we are hoping to buy but we do want to get we want to get cats. We want to get 2 cats. They will be employees at the channel though, so we're going to have to do some vetting of CVs. Forgive my ignorance. How far is Bristol, Nottingham, or where your parents live? I know the UK is a small island, but I do realise that a move can be stressful. So Bristol is about an hour away from us, where we are. Where my parents are, it's about 2.5 hours away. 3 hours on a bad traffic day. And Nottingham is a similar distance, about 2.5 hours away from where we are currently. So we got options, but that's the beauty of it, is we don't rightly know where we're going to go. We just want to know that we get the right place. That's kind of what we're sort of, our vibe is more. I mean, obviously it's got to be within our budget. Which isn't the biggest budget in the world, because I'm a Warhammer YouTuber. But when we do it, I'll be building a proper studio in the house. Which is terribly exciting as a concept. So I'm like just super excited to get on with it. I just want to go now, but we can't because we don't have enough money yet. Quick question. When painting a model, how much effort do you put into trying to paint undercloaks around tight, possibly hidden areas? Very little effort, Love Hippo. I will just get the base coat on, and that's it. If I need to shade it as well as part of the base coating procedure, I will do that. But you're never going to see any of those areas, so you don't need to get in there and highlight and layer and do all that kind of thing. So it's kind of just a case of just get the paint on there, especially if it's not visible to the observer, because you just don't need to worry about those areas. Let's use a different set of clippers for these because these are quite... The thumb palette looks Stormcasty. It's not. I've not been painting any Stormcast. I've been painting something else, but I've not been painting any Stormcast. You'll be pleased to hear. Nope, not been painting Slaves to Darkness either. Oh, there's a lovely little shim right there. Oh, there's two. Oh, there's many. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? Oh, God, we're discovering them all over the place. Great. I feel like my knife isn't long enough to get there. Seeing as you've used both at some point, what would you say is the main difference between Citadel Contrast and Vallejo Express paints? Gotta say, I prefer the dropper bottles. Vallejo's Express colour range is nowhere near as comprehensive as Contrast paints. There's a lot more of them. So it's quite limited range of colours that Vallejo has. The Vallejo stuff has a slightly longer drying time, and it also dries very, very matte. There's not a satiny finish to it, which, you know, you might prefer. I prefer the kind of the slight satin finish that Contrast has. I also hate dropper bottles. I know there are a bunch of you out there who prefer them, but I don't like them. Extremely hot dropper bottle take. I know. The reason I don't like dropper bottles is because you have even less control about how much you get out of them. And when they gum up with something like a contrast paint, you end up spending more time fixing the dropper bottle than you do actually messing about with it. I don't like it for that reason. I also don't like that my experience with dropper bottles has always been bad. So like I didn't like the speed paints in dropper bottles because I'm an idiot. And there's a little mixing ball in the speed paints. So you can't turn a dropper bottle up fully vertical, because otherwise none of it just comes out, and if you apply any pressure whatsoever, it splurts out everywhere. Which is why I didn't like it. I was like, nope. And that was really annoying me. And it was like, well, yeah, but you hold it at a certain angle in order for that not to happen, and you don't let the mixing ball drop into the nozzle. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, but I didn't know that, and that's annoying to me. And this is, like I said, it's all personal preference, right? At the end of the day, but I think dropper bottles are perfectly fine. They're just not for me. I prefer a pot, because I can use the lid as my little, if I need more. I use the lid as a little tray in a Citadel paint pot. I can just never get the consistency right with dropper bottles either. And you can't see how much you've got in them a lot of the time. Especially in like a non-contrast paint. So when you have like a metallic paint, because it theoretically lasts a long time, I can't tell how much is left in it. I really hate using Larmian or contrast medium from the pot. So much easier from a dropper bottle. Ah, see, there you go, Sam. That is where I would say that there is a legitimate use case for a dropper bottle, is with a medium. I think that's a really good point. I think that's really good, because it means you can manage your, if you basically assume that one part is a drop from your dropper bottle, you're using the dropper bottle as your mixing apparatus basically at that point. So that's where I would say, yeah, no, I think they're really good. But I don't think they're really good for 99% of painting. Josh's non-controversial opinions on Zenithal. What, that I think it's utterly pointless. It's not just the ones by Army Painter. Vallejo, some of their dropper bottles, I despise them. They've gotten better. They've gotten much better. But so here's a thing. Here's an interesting point for you guys. In my personal experience, I've never bought a Citadel paint that was already screwed before I'd even opened it. That's never happened before. Ever. Every Citadel paint I've bought, because it's fully sealed, the paint's not all screwed up inside. I know it does happen to some people, and it can happen, like the paint's fully separate or whatever. But like for me, in my personal experience, it's never happened. The very first Vallejo metallic I bought, I don't have it because I threw it out. Very first Vallejo metallic I bought had clearly been there for a little while, and some people have picked it up and like squeezed it and shook it and all this kind of thing. When I opened it to use it, I basically squirted out the world's longest like hard sausage of paint, and like the cap was all full of gummy paint. This, that, and the other. It was sealed, but the cap was all full of gummy paint. And basically, it was a complete write-off. It was a total wreck of a paint, and that's happened more than once when I've bought dropper bottle base paint. Today is clearly the hot takes edition of Warhipster today. Right. So this will slot in there at some point somehow. Quite a significant amount of filling probably needs to go on just there, which is just fantastic because I can't take off any more. Anyway, that will go on there, and then this will go there like that, and that is the gun. Now talk about airbrushes. Airbrushes are not for me. That's a big gun. It is a big gun. It's as big as my head. From beard to top of head. And I have a massive head. It's almost a human-sized gun. Yeah. Almost. It's a big old boy, that one. Okay. There's a couple more bits to do, which I now need to figure out. Where does it go? Maybe we just check the instructions. Oh, this is not a good movement for my back. This is a terrible idea. Oh. That was bad. Ouch. Ouch, kabibble. Oh, I see. They go... Right, yeah. So there's the barrel end. Where's the outer shield? Oh, it's there. And then there's some pipes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, so we don't actually really need to clean any of that stuff up, really. It's just the big stuff, really, that needs doing. I'm not sure about the supports. Yeah, I think we're good on that front. I should also remind all of the good folks out there of my YouTuberly duties, because I haven't done that. What we will do is we'll clean up the barrel end and this little gizmo, because that needs to be done. If you could please leave a like on the stream, that would be very kind and generous of you, because it is a free way to support the channel. And the more people who like it, the more people who are likely to find the stream and therefore subscribe to the channel. Likewise, if you're not already, please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 75k on the year. And it was looking for a while like we wouldn't do it. And then it was looking like we would do it. And then I got ill last week. And didn't stream on a Monday. Had a short stream on a Wednesday. And now... revenue is down, subscribership is down, viewership is down, and there's been a lot of Stormcast, which apparently YouTube just, you guys out there just don't want to see Stormcast videos anymore. So we're not going to be doing any more Stormcast videos for a while. So don't have to worry about that anymore. So how does that then? But if you also want to support the channel a little bit further, like legends of the channel such as ADR Wargaming have just done, you can consider becoming a member or gifting 10 of the finest Warhipster memberships. Thank you very much, Adam. You're an absolute boss. And also, there is you can send a super chat with a brightly coloured postcard to ask me a question, to hurl me an insult, to tell me I look pretty today. But also, all of that good stuff. You can do all of that. And finally, down in the description, if you don't want to give YouTube any money, there is a PayPal donation link which you can use. And there's also Patreon at youtube.com/Patreon. So I don't quite understand how this is supposed to work. So it goes in. This is interesting. Just buy like 20 boxes of intercessors and every week and a half do a how to paint this chapter of Space Marines video and just see the revenue go up. We've done so many Space Marine videos around here that I just can't face doing more. Okay, so apparently regardless of which side you want this to go, right? So if you want this to go on the, let's say this is going to be a left-hand cannon. That bit slots in here. Like that sort of thing. And then the shield, this doodad, goes in there. Like that. And then that will go on the back there. And then that will go on there. Like that. So as you can see, it gains further mass. Madlock, thank you very much for the 5. Wanting to paint Arioch Bone Reapers in the Ivory Host scheme, but I can't find any guides. Any chance that could be a video soon? Love your videos. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Madlock. I don't know what the Ivory Host looked like. Let me look it up, because I might have something that is currently on the channel which is analogous to that, because at the moment I don't have any Arioch Bone Reapers to actually paint. The other thing, let me have a look. Forge World slot. Yeah, exactly, Alistair. It doesn't quite fit. Arioch Bone Reapers Ivory Host. No, not Ivory Hosty. The Ivory Host. Let's have a look. So the short answer is no. There isn't any pictorial references. Other than what is an interpretation by a fan. Other than this one from the Tithe Reaper Echelon. I mean, realistically, looking at the pictures that I can find, the way I would paint these is I would paint the bone with Skeleton Horde. I would do the white armor. I'd prime it all with Wraithbone. Let me go back over here. I'd prime it all with Wraithbone. I would use Skeleton Horde over the top of all of their bones. Then I would use Nuln Oil over the top of all of their armor. I'd relayer the armor with Korax White, and then I would highlight it with White Scar. For all of the trim, I would use Black Legion. And actually what I would do is I would paint the trim before I did the armor. So paint the trim Black Legion, then shade the trim and the bare Wraithbone with Nuln Oil. So that way you're shading the black and you're creating the first step of the white first. Relayer the armor with white, and then edge highlight it with Korax White would be how I would do it. As for the weapons, it's basically I would use I would go with Eandon Yellow all over the weapon, and then I would use Gryph-hound Orange over the top and blend it at around about the 2/3 mark. So put it on the top, wash the brush, and then get touch off the water and then just blend it so it would go into that kind of orangey yellow towards the tip. So it'd be a fiery orange at the base and into a yellow towards the top. That is ostensibly how I would paint it, Madlock. I can't find any guides for them. No, I'm not surprised. When I Google them, you don't get any pictures. Well, you get pictures, but like of just Arioch Bone Reapers. The only one I can find is this one from Brent on Twitter, on X, which is of the Tithe Reaper Echelon. And that's the only pictorial reference I can find to go off of. What about if we made your Blood Angels models 20% taller? Would you be excited to paint some then? Absolutely not, Sam. That'll be what happens though in the next edition, 11th edition. They'll be like, we're gonna try the Primaris thing again. So Primaris is back, baby. But thank you very much for the $5 there, Madlock, and thank you once again, Adam, for the 10 gifted Warhipster memberships. You guys are the true heroes of Warhipster Towers. There we go. Right. We will just clean off the last little bits. Why not? There's not a lot to do on them. But then it's done. Captain Bannerings. Send it via PayPal. You're wrong, but still love you anyway. What am I wrong about? Is Warhipster Towers open to the public? It's my house, so no. Currently. I think Alice would take quite a dim view of me opening up our house to the public. It's interesting you mention Space Wolves there, Fake Street Spirit. I'm both interested and nervous as to what the Space Wolves 10th edition release is going to look like. Because if it's anything like the Blood Angels, quite a lot of Space Marines, quite a lot of Space Wolves armies, are about to get severely boned. Space Wolves fans are going to lose a lot of kits. Are you going to wash these parts? And if so, what do you use to clean them? I am going to wash them, yeah. So what I do is I put them in hot soapy water and I just leave it overnight. And the soap we use is just like a sort of normal dish soap. Then once it's had overnight to kind of sit in the gunk, I then stand over the sink for roughly 2.5 hours with a toothbrush. So sort of a harder bristled toothbrush. Where does this bit go? Okay, it goes on the back there. Yeah. I love the Space Wolves. But I have a feeling they're going to lose Sky Claws, Long Claws, as data sheets. I think they're going to lose their... What's it called? There's the... what's the young'uns called? What are they called? They're not scouts, but you can take them in units of 20. Do you think they will get Furry Russ or more Old Man Russ? I get the feeling that Russ will be Old Man Russ. But not, because he'll be... I've been in the warp for ages, and you know what the warp does to people like us, type thing. I don't think you're going to get a chaotic looking guy. I also don't think you're going to get a Wolfen type Russ. Blood Claws. Ragnar, Bjorn, lots and lots of Termies. Well, and this is the question: is what's their new character going to be? Because I would have said, yeah, sure, Bjorn the Fell-Handed, he might get a new model, but I don't think you're going to get a Terminator, a Space Wolves Terminator kit that does Bjorn, Murderfang, a Space Wolves Dreadnought, and a Wolfen Dreadnought. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think the Wolfen Dreadnought's going. I think Murderfang's going. And I actually also think Bjorn the Fell-Handed is going as well. I think they'll just get rid of it. Because if they were going to do Dreadnoughts, the Blood Angels could have got their Librarian Dreadnought, their Death Company Dreadnought, and their Furioso Dreadnought as an actual kit. But they didn't. My prediction is that all of that stuff's going, and I think Thunderwolves will go too. And what you'll get is you'll get Njal Stormcaller, Arjak Rockfist, and an upgrade sprue for Terminators to make them into Wolfguard. I think that's it. I think that is what Space Wolves are going to get. Oh no, I don't think they'll kill off Bjorn. I think they'll just be like... It's like Corbulo. Corbulo's not dead. And Seth, Gabriel Seth, he's not dead either. They're just not around anymore in the game. They'll just be hanging out in the pages of your old codexes. That's what I think is going to happen to Space Wolves. And if that is what happens to Space Wolves, I am gonna be watching very carefully for everybody, for a lot of channels on YouTube being like, here's the fantastic new Space Wolves Codex with the awesome new Njal Stormcaller. And I'll be like, is it? Come on. Do better than that. Unleash the wolves into the comments. What exactly? I will be surprised if Space Wolves, if they do get Russ in this edition. But if they do get Russ in this edition, then that's it. There's no more Primarchs left to come out. So that means that the next Primarch will have to come out with a new range of insert models that goes alongside it. So basically, if Russ comes out this edition, it's then a free-for-all on whatever the next Primarch will be. But you can also bet pretty strongly that if, for example, let's say Perturabo comes out, you're going to get an Iron Warriors range to go along with it. But I would guess that a Loyalist will come out before another Chaos range. This would be what I would do. So then it's 4 versus 4. It's going to be Fulgrim with EC. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that we can safely assume that Fulgrim is coming with the Emperor's Children book, and it will be surprising if Fulgrim does not come out with the Emperor's Children set. But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me again if they just went, so you get to use Fulgrim Transcended. Ha ha ha. Alright. So we've done the Volcano Cannon. It's now your choice, chat, of Apocalypse Launchers or Arioch Power Claw. One of those two. Contrast paint equivalent to Pink Horror. Probably Volupus Pink. It's the closest. World Eaters players still waiting on half their codex. Well, yeah. Hello, Peter. I've just finished tidying up the Volcano Cannon. So the Volcano Cannon and the head is done. I've got to wash them first. But they're now clean. I didn't do the support struts for the Volcano Cannon, but I'll do it. That can happen later. Is there a pink contrast paint? There is Doomfire Magenta, but is more a hot pink. Yeah, and Doomfire Magenta is too much of a hot pink to be a pink. It's more of a magenta. Volupus Pink is pink. It doesn't look it in the pot, but it is. When will the glory of Bard's family be upon us? Never. Never, if you keep asking. I said I bought it. Didn't mean I'd have to build it and paint it. We have started a Warhipster fan club in Swindon, Warhammer. There are 3 of us so far. Oh, that's awesome. GW don't have great pinks, I think. Fulgrim Pink is a really nice paint. And I do like Emperor's Children. I just don't often have a chance to use it. More often you end up using Pink Horror more so than anything. But yeah. I am going to... I'm going to change this to 400. That feels achievable. There we go. We are 27 members away from 400. If anyone would like to consider becoming a member or indeed gifting some memberships. Because in order to do a video on Bard's family, I need to take the financial hit that is a 6-view video. How is Alarielle to paint? Good fun or a total Lord of Croak? I haven't painted her yet, so I don't know. I think she'll be fine. Because I've actually got her built in sub-assemblies because I primed the model in 2 different colours, so that the Beetle is primed black and Alarielle is primed in Wraithbone, I think, or White Scar, one of the 2. Because it just made sense to do that way, rather than use like 30 pots of Black Legion to get the Beetle down to black. What we're instead going to be doing is, because I've primed it black, is we're going to dry brush it up with like Incubi Darkness, and then use contrast paints to get that sheen of the blue and purple. So the Beetle, the Wardroth, has a blue top but a purple underside, which, as long as you're like 1 shade higher than black, you can get there. But that's why I've done it. And then I'll go in with Corax White and pick out the details that need to be picked out. To get that one done. I can't remember if I primed her in white or in Wraithbone. I'm pretty certain I did it in Wraithbone, so that like Gilliman flesh would work really nicely on her skin. But I can't remember. There's also like all of the leaves and stuff. But yeah, I was gonna hope week before last, I was hoping to do a lot more than I did, but I was just really ill and really sad, so I couldn't face doing any work. So I ended I couldn't face doing lots of work, so I ended up not doing it. Should be finished with my crisis weapons tonight, finally. Should I do MESBG or Seraphon for a second unit of tails? 4 tails. Thank you very much for the £5 there, Pridders. Awesome. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Which one should you do? I think you should do MESBG, because it's something slightly different. And also, the War in Rohan, War of the Rohirrim, or whatever, the film is not far away now. It's what? Less than a month to go? MESBG, get hype! Thank you very much for the great videos. They helped me a lot with my first minis. 39-year-old says a big thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Marcus. I'm glad I could help. It is mad to me that I've done 508 this year. Just 92 more to go. If I paint my Minas Tirith army, that will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No, I've miscounted there. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That'll be another 24. 24 from Minas Tirith. I'm working on that, which I can't tell you about. That'll be 30. I think I can do it. I genuinely think I can do it. I might go see that in theatres. I'm definitely going to see it in theatres. I asked Alice if we could go and see it, like, on the 13th. This channel and your videos have a great influence on me. Is that a good thing, Tattooed Zoologist? So pre-order announced next weekend for release on the 14th. Surely GW aren't going to be sensible for a change. Well, we can only find out, can't we? We'll see. Alright. Let's have a look at this Power Claw, shall we? It comes in 2 bags. I'm just gonna blind open a bag and we're just gonna go for it. I think the last film I saw in theatres was Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Oh wow, that's been a long time since we've been to the theatres. We went and saw Deadpool vs Wolverine, and before that we went and saw Across the Spider-Verse 2. I'm guessing this goes there. Okay. Those are some chunky bits. Let's deal with this bit first. I'm just going to clip at the base. That's a fist. It is. Call that a fist? It's not quite as big as my hand. Let me see if it does actually just go on there. Yeah. That is where it goes. You'll like the size. I'm not sure it's man enough for me. Does anyone have any predictions for the preview this week? This weekend? It's next Friday, isn't it? I'm intrigued to see what you guys think. Warhammer. Indeed, Warhammer. Hey, Philip, how you doing? God, it looks like ass. This Friday. Yeah, there you go. I think we will get tanks. Yeah, we might see tanks. They did promise us tanks. There's a preview. Yeah, no, there is. There was a video. Was it yesterday? Or Saturday? One of the two. But they went, "Hey, join us for the last preview of the week of 2024." With stuff for, I want to say, Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer: The Age of Sigmar, the Horus Heresy, I think, and the Old World. What they didn't mention was MESBG, which says to me that they aren't going to be previewing anything. And at this point, I'm starting to lose hope that there will be new Riders of Rohan. Which feels silly, but there we go. I'm not in charge of their decisions. And it's a good job I'm not. I'm genuinely surprised I haven't injured myself doing this yet. Well, rather than genuinely surprised, I should say pleasantly surprised. I hope it's as good as the last preview. The last preview I thought was excellent. Because they went back to doing it live. Rather than a pre-recorded thing. I'm here with the people you've just seen to talk about something that you've just talked about. Or God forbid another roadmap. We decided to have another stab at doing the roadmap. I don't know how I'm going to dig that out. Deal with that later. What is Alice's thoughts on the Warlord? She hates it. She doesn't hate it. She's just like, where the hell are we going to put it? And I'm like, I don't know. This is what I told chat. We've got nowhere to put this damn thing. But it's what they wanted. And she was like, alright. If it's what chat wants, it's what chat gets. And I was like, yeah. That's why Alice would make an excellent YouTuber. Yeah, that'll do for now. You'll gladly store it for me, will you, Colonel? Like a permanent, like, loan type thing. Suspension from the ceiling. How many more pieces are there to this damn thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16. 17. 18, 19. 20, 21. 22, 23, 24, 25. 26. 27. 28. 29, 30, 31, 32. 32 more pieces for the Arioch. That's more components than some character models. I don't quite understand how it goes together either. Let's investigate. I'm guessing that those holes at the top here are for the pistons. Yeah. I'm not going to go for the claw tips. I don't like the claw tips. Okay. Interesting. You could auction the Titan once you're done to expedite your move. I could. I could. My view on that is that I actually have a lot of models anyway that need to go. So at some point I will do something with all of that once we know kind of roughly a date, because we don't know when we're going or how much we need. So my plan is to basically raffle off a bunch of models. Because a raffle is just... I think a raffle is better. It means more people can get a hold of a piece of Warhipster history for less money, if you see what I mean. And it also means there'll be considerably less for me to move when the time comes. At least that's the theory, you see. Oh, it's exhausting doing this stuff. Especially when it makes you as nervous as it makes me. These finger spikes are interesting. With the shims on them. I've been building and painting the Titan during this year. What a titanic job. So just good luck with yours, mate. Oh, thank you, Igor. Once it's finally built, we'll be doing a 24-hour stream to paint the damn thing. So it might take me many months to get the whole thing cleaned up and ready to go, but then it should only take me a day to paint it. A day of suffering. Model cleaning and assembly is my least favourite part of the hobby. I am with you there, Corpse Monkey. I hate it. I do not enjoy it at all. I especially don't like it when it's really expensive, large, and brittle. I really, really, really dislike that. It fills me with dread and anxiety. And it makes me uncomfortable and itchy whilst I'm doing something like this. A plastic model, I've done so many of them, it's fine. I've never done a Warlord Titan before. I've never done an Arioch Power Claw before. I've already messed up the volcano cannon. There's a huge gap on it, which I don't know how I'm going to fix that. I'm going to have to use some gap filler or whatever, which is going to suck. You have to be careful with raffles in international law. Can be tricky with parts of the US, as far as I remember. Yeah. So I've done some raffles in the past, and I use a service that deals with the legal side of it for me. I don't do it myself because that would be dicey. At the same time, boo-hoo, chat bought me a Warlord Titan tiny violin. I know, Captain Manners. I'm right there with you. I do agree. Good evening. Are you feeling better now? Yeah, my cold is better, but my back is in agony. I hurt it again yesterday. Really badly. So basically existing is uncomfortable at the moment. Which is not ideal. It's suboptimal, some might say. But it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't do any more cleanup today. My brain can't handle it. I've done the big bits. That's what I mean. We do an hour and a half here, an hour and a half there. Eventually it'll get done. I just can't do it. Sorry. Like I said, I already messed up the volcano cannon, so that's fun. I know that if I do more, I'm going to mess up the Power Claw as well. So we'll pack it away. I got in my head about it. How much taller is the Warlord compared to the Warhound? It's twice the size. It's double that. Banana for scale. We don't actually have any bananas in the house. I don't think. I'm pretty sure we don't. What's on the cards for the rest of the evening? Bit of crying, maybe? Yeah. A bit of sobbing. A bit of lying in a very still position on the sofa. All round a good time out. Although your back pain is not ideal, existing is wonderful and should never be underestimated. What do you have in your future projects drawer? Oh. Too many models. Not enough time. Too much pain. There's... yeah. MESBG... AOS 40k, a ton of Legions Imperialis stuff to do. It might be how we see out the year is painting Legions Imperialis. I bought some double-sided sticky tape and some coffee stirrers just to make things a little bit easier in the painting, which I'll demonstrate how that works when we do the videos. But I bought a set of Legiones Astartes infantry, because I think the only way to make it work, making Legions Imperialis videos, is we've already done a Salamanders one. So I think the way to make it work is in this video we're going to be painting an Imperial Fist Subterranean Assault. Detachment. So that will include a core set, the Tactical Legionaries, the HQs, and the Termites. Or we do an armoured Spearhead or whatever the hell it's called. And that way we can do Sabres and Sicarans, Arcus and Punishers. Because as much as doing a pile of Salamanders videos would be fine, it's exactly the same tutorial over and over and over and over again. And it's a complete waste of my time and yours to make that video a bunch of times over and over again. Because nothing changes in it. There's nothing new at that scale. So I bought a box of infantry. That way I can do a demi company of White Scars or Blood Angels or whatever. And I bought, and the other one is so that I can do a, so I think it was Subterranean Assault was the other one. And it's the same thing for the Solar Auxilia. That's the plan, at least. But we've got the Mechanicum stuff to do as well. And hopefully, fingers crossed, some Dark Mechanicum as well. How big is your pile of shame? At this point, I would say it's probably around about 1,000 models. If I had to guess. Probably. On my desk alone, there's 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 67, and then over there's 67 plus that is 77, 90, 101, 104, 105, 106, 107, 112, 113, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 31, 41, 42, 43, 46, 52, 51, 54, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 200 about 210, 215 models just in this little corner. Feeling better. Hello, James. Yeah, my cold is better. My back is in ruin at the moment, though. I hurt it yesterday. It took me ages to get up this morning. It's really bad. It was really painful. Yeah, I mean that 220 is just stuff that's built and primed or unprimed that is sort of here to there. There's more there. More there. More there. And then there's all the unbuilt models. Completely off topic, in your Battle Sisters video you do Basilicanum Grey and then Black Templar over it. Would you keep that or just do Black Legion instead? At this point I would probably do Black Legion. Back pain is the worst. I injured my lower back a year ago and couldn't walk for 23 weeks without assistance. Oh man, that really sucks. Thankfully I'm nowhere near that bad. I can still get around after about an hour in the morning, but like... Yeah, I really hurt it yesterday. And I don't know how. And it's the same thing I did 2 weeks ago, but worse this time. I basically ended up having to just sort of slide out of bed. How do you build up the confidence to paint larger centerpiece models like Ionis or Kairos? For me, I let it hit me when it hits me. Quite often, though, it's necessity. So I'm driven by deadlines more often than not. So if, for example, we lived in a universe where in 2 weeks' time Kairos Fate Weaver was going on pre-order, I've got 2 weeks to build it and paint it. And it might take me 3 days. So realistically, I've got 11 days to do it. So I just have to do it. So for me, I'm very deadline oriented in that respect. It sucks, but it is what it is. Once you get started, though, if you're really passionate about the model, your confidence should carry you through. Even if you just paint like a toe, like if you just put Black Legion on the claws of a model, that's how you just get started. You just tackle it in increments, like I'm doing with this Warlord Titan. We've done an hour and a half on it today, and my brain can't handle any more, so I'm not going to do any more on it. And I'm really unconfident with building that. Really confident with building that. And you guys are getting to watch that live. Even if you're poop like me. Ah, see, there's your problem, Fake Street Spirit. You think that you're poop. But you're not. Because you're going to try it. Eventually. When you get to it, you're going to try it. And that will make you a better painter of that miniature than most people in the world. Because at least you tried. You know? painting what you are excited about painting is the key. Yeah, James is absolutely right. At the end of the day, it is fun. It needs to be fun, and you'll need to find the fun. And it might not be that some of it is it might be that some of it's not fun to begin with, but it will become fun. Like I know that with this Warlord Titan, that when I paint it, it will be fun. I will enjoy painting it. Mostly because we'll be doing it together. But I will enjoy painting the Warlord Titan. And I will focus on that bit, the victory of having completed it. You see what I mean? What's the stream about? Are we just discussing Warhammer in general? No, I've been building a Titan. Well, cleaning up the building of it, cleaning up the components to build a Warlord Titan. I finished, albeit botching the job completely, I think, on the Volcano Cannon, and started the Arioch Power Claw, and now we're just hanging out for another 20 minutes. Because I'm getting back in the swing of making content after the car crash that was last week. In that I didn't get to stream on Monday, and Wednesday was really short, and I was really ill, and I was really sad. I've not yet built or painted anything that didn't have at least one part that was frustrating / annoying. Yeah, I mean, I go through that all the time. What's something that I've recently really hated at points? Oh, Kill Team Justian. That entire experience of painting that. I'm happy with the final result. But painting the whole thing, it was awful. Because I thought I was making a terrible mess of it, and I thought my colour choices were bad, and I thought the custom scheme wasn't going to work, and I thought it was going to look awful. And it completely shook me to my core as I was doing it. But I soldiered on because I needed to make the video. And at the end of the day, it looks fine. How many models is the Warlord worth in your model count? It'll be 1, because it's 1 model. Fake Street Spirit. Confidence is that one thing that applies perfectly to fake it until you make it. One day you'll get out of your head about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. No, I mean, I do it week in, week out, right? You know? Sometimes I'll get models through from Games Workshop, and I'll look at them and I'll think, I have no idea how I'm gonna paint that, and I have to fake it till I make it and get there, and I do 99 times out of 100. I think one where I definitely got it wrong was Rumil and Orifin. I didn't get those cloaks right. But a lot of the time I do get it right, eventually. How big is your Stormcast army? At the moment, it's 2, 4, One moment, caller. My Stormcast army is, bearing in mind there's a few bits I need to finish for it, so it consists of, so we have our Hammers of Sigmar, which is 2,000 points, and I need to paint 3 Stormstrike Paladors for that, and a unit of Prosecutors, so 6 models. But it's 2,000. I own the models, so that's 2,000 points. My Hallowed Knights is 2,000. Well, it's more than that because there's stuff that's painted for it. But playable, it's 2,190. So that's 4,000. For my Celestial Vindicators, I have all of that. I need to buy another box of Reclusians. And 2 more boxes of Prosecutors. I'm 110 points shy. But that is 1890, so that's what, 5,890. And my Astral Templars, of which I own most of it now, I just need I need the 2 boxes of Vanguard Raptors and 2 boxes of Paladors. That will be 2,000 points. So 2468, Nearest Dammit, and then we've got the Draconis Skywing, which is another 2,000. So that's 10. So I'm probably on about, bearing in mind the stuff that I need to buy, I'm about 9,000 points. Hello, Travis. That's the best thing about this community, guys, is that this community is all about hyping each other up. We all go through those moments, right? We all have our low points. You know, the low points are what make it. The low points are what make the high points better. And we all need a bit of help. And one thing that I've always tried to foster within the community, and you guys do a spectacular job of it, is that we all carry each other through. You guys carry me all the time. And I occasionally help you guys out with a tutorial when you need one. Does anyone else think it was stupid to buy 20 Liberators because they look cool? Absolutely not. Liberators are the one. Do you know what I miss? The thing I wish they had done is I wish they had done a new version of Judicators. And I know it sounds dumb when Vigilors exist. But I wish they'd done some Judicators to go with the Liberators, because I love the hammer and shield wall with the archers behind it. It's one of the things that really just kind of made me very excited for Age of Sigmar when I first started in it. But you know, it is what it is. Instead, we now have Vigilors, which is fine. But I have 10 Hallowed Knights Judicators that, as of July next year, will no longer be valid for the tabletop, but for now they still are. Which is why, like I said, I have about 9,000 points probably painted. It's more than that because of the stuff that is, you know, for example, I have a Knight Venator, a couple of Lord Castellants, a bunch of Knight Questers, a number of characters, a Ventus Firestrike, I have a Sacrosanct Chamber, I have all of that stuff as well. So if it were all to stay legit, we'd probably be pushing somewhere in the region of 14,000 points for Stormcast Eternals. I've been watching a lot of your Dark Angels videos. I wanted to do a darker green for my own. Would you still go for the turquoise/Black Templar route? If you wanted to go darker than that, I would suggest using Black Legion first, and then using a green over the top of that, either Dark Angels green or Pterodon turquoise. But you probably go Black Legion and then like a 1-to-1 of Lamian medium and Dark Angels green. That'll come out really dark. If you check out my... If you check out either my Rogaldorn tank or the Field Ordnance battery video, you'll see some really dark greens there. Those will help you. I still think the new prosecutors are the best looking troops GW released this year. Yeah. They are definitely a candidate for it. Who do we think is going to win Model of the Year this year? My bet is... something lame like Astaroth. What is the difference between Black Legion and Black Templar? Black Legion is basically a single pigment contrast paint. And because it's a single pigment contrast paint, it means it applies a much darker black. Black Templar is a more traditional contrast paint in that it has black as the heavy pigment and grey as the like a blue grey as the lighter pigment. So Black Templar generally tends to come out as like a bluish greyish black. It's quite bright. It's not really that black. So for example, if you were to try to paint a Raven Guard miniature, it's always one I pick. If you were to try and paint a Raven Guard miniature and you went for Black Legion on one and Black Templar on the other, they would look completely different, and you would always point to the Black Legion one as being closer to that black. Like I said, Black Templar is more of a traditional contrast paint. It's why I generally tend to use it now as a shade or for like rocks or stuff like that, because it's not really black, whereas Black Legion is black. Abraxia is a good shout. Vizic is also a good shout, but as Alaric says, a 40k one, because it always does. That's what I mean. Just try and think of a good 40k miniature that happened this year that is worthy of it. You won't be able to, but one of them will win. Especially when Angron wins it, and then in second place is Farsight. In the same year that Ionis Cryptborn and Talia Vedra came out. That special rattling one. It's not going to win, but I really like that it's something a little different and quite whimsical. Yeah, I bought that. I ordered that. I pre-ordered it. So hopefully we'll get a video out of it. I managed to do Zarketh pretty quickly. That video is coming out on Thursday. Auspiciously timed. But yeah, Zarketh Bane of Law, how to paint that. That's coming out on Thursday. Personally think the new Stormcast character on the mount. Yeah. Again, it's a great candidate. There's lots of great AOS candidates this year. Usharan was this year. As is Vizic Scour. As was... what is their name? I can't remember now. Iridan the Witness. Thank you. And you've mentioned single pigments shouldn't coffee stain. Is there a way to ID single pigmented paints? I can do it for you now. So it's basically Imperial Fist, Bowled Red, Black Legion, Bad Moon Yellow, Iron Jaws Yellow, And that's kind of it, I think. Oh, Magmadroth Flame is another one. And Leviathan Purple, kind of, but not really. Leviathan Purple isn't a single. But they all came out in the second, so Contrast Wave 2. So yeah, Bad Moon Yellow, Iron Jaws Yellow, Imperial Fist, Magmadroth Flame, Baal Red, Doomfire Magenta is close to being one. It's yeah. I'd say Doomfire Magenta is probably quite single pregnantly. And Black Legion is another one. There's not many of them. Asmodai was a great model for 40k. Yeah, it was a good model. Gormain. I think we as a group could come up with a top 5 that was way more reflective of what Games Workshop releases across the year than what actual Warhammer community is, and end up crowning as the Model of the Year winner, because that one is done... it's a popularity contest, that one, rather than actually looking at the miniatures. It's a case of whichever one sold the most is going to be the one that gets the most votes. And it's usually a 40k model. So 40k models will always do better in that poll because more people buy 40k miniatures. Kotiaz will win. That would be hilarious. That would be so funny. The rage would be palpable. You'd be able to taste it. Yum. Here's the Bard's family of 40k. He's not that bad. He's not great. He's not that bad. The goose from the Halfling Blood Bowl team. Was that this year or was that last year? Yeah, the Kotiaz model isn't great. It's not a good model. God, that would be so funny. Thing is, I forget how many... Like, I've painted 508 models this year. I forget which ones I've done. You know. So, like, Iridan the Witness was this year. Vizek Scour. The Brood, Terror. Lemates, Astarath. All of Skaven Tide. What else have we done? Abraxia, the Kroot Lone Spear, the Dark Oath Chieftain on Warsteed, the Dark Oath Wilder Fiend, the Nemesis Claw Night Lord's Kill Team, the Idol of the Old Ones, all the Kroot, Crethusa the Crone Seer, that was a new one this year. Asmodai, as mentioned already. Grand Justice Gormain, as mentioned already. Sakar, Fang of New Lamia. Usharan, the new Deathwing, they were this year. Belial was new this year. The High Priest of Necrolith Bone Dragon, that was new this year as well. And that takes us to... Yeah, that's it. Is that really it? 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, 68, 72, 76, 80, 84, 88, 92, 96, 100, 104, 108, 112, 116, 120, 124. We've done 124 videos already this year. $124 videos. That's mad. I'm a little bit stunned by that, actually. And we're still not done yet. There's at least... Let me consult my document. At the moment, there is at least... Currently planned, at least. 124 videos. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. This is another 30 videos. So if you'd like to see me create 30 more videos this year, then please do leave a like on the stream. And hit the subscribe button. The more you support, the more likely my body is to repair itself. You know. I'm just saying. I really want to do this Minas Tirith army. I just don't have the time at the moment. What is the bet for best-selling GW Mini this year? Oh, probably anything Dark Angels. I would guess. We might try and do another New Year's Day stream extravaganza. I haven't figured out where I'm going to be for New Year's Day, but I bought the Maggotkin of Nurgle Christmas box because it just had everything that I needed to finish off my Maggotkin of Nurgle army. So I was like, it just makes sense. It's the only one that did make sense. So I bought that. The only other thing I need to get is Rotigus, but that will come later. But what we might do is we might do another New Year's Day stream extravaganza where we just paint that entire box or something like that. That's the plan, at least. See you later, Star Pilot. Have fun with Liam. You'll join me on New Year's Day. Lovely, Travis. Like I said, I need to talk to Alice about where we're going to be and what we're doing, but that might be something that we do. I don't know if we'll do a 24-hour stream again. Like last time, it was day 1, New Year's Day. We're doing a Warhound Titan. We kicked off this year big. It was a big kickoff this year. So next year's going to be a little bit quieter because there's no way that the Warlord Titan will be built in time for that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. We'll figure it out together as the wonderful community that we are. But it's 25 to 8 now. So I think we're going to wrap things up there for today. What can you expect to see this week? You can expect to see a live stream on Wednesday. I don't know what it will be about, but it'll be about something. Then we will have a painting video for you on Thursday, and then we will do a watch along with the preview on Friday. And then there's a painting video for you on Saturday as well, but I cannot tell you what it is. Though I'm sure a number of you will be able to guess. But yeah, as ever, content up the wazoo for all of you, because I love you guys. Treat you all to some tasty Warhipster content, as always. But yeah, on that note, I'm going to raise the hand of farewell, and I shall see you all very soon in the next one. Like I said, a bunch of stuff happening this week. And I hope you all have a pleasant week. If I don't speak to you on Wednesday or on Friday, then I'll see you next Monday. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Love you. Bye for now.